All right, so today I'm going to show you how to make your cereal box project. Okay, so you're going to come up with an idea for a cereal brand. You're going to come up with the name, and you are going to go find some images to help you put together your box. Okay, we're not reinventing the wheel. I just want you guys to kind of reinvent a cereal brand. Okay, so we're going to borrow some images from the internet for this project. So doing a little bit of research, I came up with a Pokemon cereal. Actually, there's already one out there, but many of you probably already know this. So I'm going to just go ahead and recreate the box for you to kind of show you how to create your project. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to make the entire box red. So this is my template that I've provided for you. And I'm going to go ahead and create a new blank layer. So I'm going to click on the plus, and I'm working in Photoshop. I want this entire box to be red. That's going to be my base color. If you want to do a base color for each individual panel, that's completely up to you. You could use the selection tool, select out individual parts of the box like this, fill it with a color, and then create a clipping mask. It's a process, so I'm just going to do one solid color for right now and then just add elements throughout my box. So I'm going to click on my paint bucket tool. I selected the color red. I'm going to drop my paint on my artboard, and then I'm going to right click on my new layer, and I'm going to create a clipping mask. That clipping mask is going to clip my red layer to my design, and I can still kind of see my lines where I need to fold my box when I'm done printing it out. All right, so I did say that you do need to add a couple things. You need to add the nutrition panel, which I have provided for you. And what else did I ask? I think the ingredients panel. So I did not include an ingredients panel for you. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go online, and you're going to have to search for cereal ingredients. And let me see what comes up when I do that. So we're going to kind of have to fake some of this design stuff because it's not obviously going to be true to the product that we are creating. All right, so I'm going to save this one that I just found. I just typed in cereal ingredients, found the screenshot of this cereal ingredients. I'm going to place it in here. I saved it to my student U drive. I'm going to go place embedded, find my cereal box folder, and oops, let's see. So if I go view, extra large, that way I can see. Okay, so this is the screenshot that I found. I'm just going to place it right in here, resize it. This is going to go on the side panel. So either side is fine, right or left. I don't care. So this is your side panel. Okay. And then your nutrition facts can go there as well. So I'm going to go place embedded again, and I'm going to get the boring stuff out of the way. And I think it's actually in my download folder. So let me pull that up. And this one is probably going to have to go on the other side because it looks like, oh, you know what? This nutrition panel that I have provided, it does have the ingredients on there. So if you want to just use that instead of going and finding one, you can. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to separate these two. So I'm going to select this part. I'm going to go Control C and then Control V. So Control and copy. And what that did, it pasted that ingredients on a new layer. I'm going to get rid of this first one that I provided. And that way it's completely separate. Because I want my labels to kind of fit in these panels, and then I can go back in, select this section again, and then just hit delete. I need to rasterize my layer, so I'll right click and hit rasterize layer and then delete that because I want to be able to make it a little bit bigger. And if I leave it on there, I'm not going to be able to do that. Obviously, it's not going to fit unless I hold shift and stretch it out. Which it actually looks okay. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it just like that. So there's my nutrition facts, and then, oops, I can move my ingredients and stretch that out. Holding shift, I can kind of stretch it So this is not an image. So yes, it does distort it just a little bit, but it doesn't look as bad as if I did an image. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and start placing some pictures on here. So what I'm going to do is go to File. I've already looked, I did a Google search for like berry cereal, and for some reason Pokemon came up as berry cereal. And so these are the pictures that I have found. I'm going to use this one. Maybe it might be too blurry, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut out this black section. So what I'm going to do is use my selection tool, and I'm going to go to select and mask. It should, let's see, select my cereal, make my brush bigger. And if you do not know how to do select and mask, then call me over. Or if you don't remember how to select something, then ask me for help and I will come help you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and select that. And I'm going to put this on a new layer with layer mask, because if I make any mistakes, I can come back in and brush it back on. I see up here I've got some sections that need to be fixed. And this is a really low resolution picture, so I may actually go back in and change this later. So just be aware of that. It's a little blurry, right? So I want something that's nice and pretty crisp and sharp. But I really had a hard time finding a picture of the actual bowl. So, okay, so let's turn down the size just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, and these are my settings that I typically use. Decontaminate colors, and then hit OK. All right, so what that did, it cut out the background, which is good, which is what I wanted to do. I'm going to use my eraser tool. Come in here really quick with a white brush and just erase that little piece. All right, so there is my first section. I'm going to kind of squeeze this in here so it's kind of fitting within here. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead, and I do need to find a Pokemon font, so I'm going to go ahead and pause it real quick and do that. Okay, so what I did is I found the Pokemon guy, so I'm going to go ahead and place embedded, and I found this piece. I forgot about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and kind of stretch this out a little bit, holding shift, or not holding shift, I'm sorry. I'm going to place this right here, and what I'm going to do is cut him out. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my object selection tool. Let's see how well this does when I drag across. Does okay. So I'm going to add to my selection. So to add to my selection, I'm going to come up here and click on this one, and then I can kind of drag out the sections that I still want to select. Just checking it out, make sure it grabs everything. Looks good, looks good. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and hit select. Oh, I already did select subject. I'm going to actually create a clipping mask, or a layer mask, and it cut it out for me. I still have the additional pieces of it behind him, just in case something happens, in case I need to erase something, which I actually do in here. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to go through this process and piece together your cereal box, okay, for your target audience. Make sure that your brand is matching your target audience. Are you making a cereal for kids? Are you making it for adults? Who are you making this cereal for? Okay, make sure that if you're doing it for kids, your character represents the cereal brand. Something is selected in there. Oh yeah, okay. Enter. If you're doing it for adults, obviously you're not going to have like a kid type character. When I'm thinking adult cereal, I'm thinking like Wheaties for athletes. They use a lot of athletes on their boxes, or Life cereal. They don't necessarily have a character. It's kind of branded for everyone. Special K, it's pretty boring, so they go really focus on the cereal in a bowl and the logo. All right, so think about who your target audience is, And is your cereal box going to appeal to your target audience? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and what I want you to do is you're going to finish up your box, your front of your box. And then when you're done, I asked you to put a game or something. Okay, so if it's a child's cereal, you're going to put a game on the back. I guess you could do the same thing if it's an adult cereal. So, for example, Special K. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever eaten Special K cereal, but if you have something on the back for people to read before cell phones, that's what we would do at the breakfast table. We would play the games on the back of the cereal boxes. So you could add a game for all of your cereal brands, whether it's for adults or children. So just do a Google search for maybe like a maze or crossword puzzle or something like that. Something that's going to focus on your cereal. I found this Pokemon maze online. It does have the 7-Eleven logo on there that I'm noticing right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys really quick how to kind of mask that out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my spot healing brush tool. Okay, this tool is used for, I need to rasterize the layer, used for hiding things like, or getting rid of pieces of the image that you don't want. For example, blemishes, pimples, things like that. Works really well. So I'm just going to start clicking. You can make your brush smaller, larger, if you need to. Just it's a brush, so it works just like every other brush. If you're noticing that's not working too well, try one of the other ones. The spot healing brush tool is a little bit different, so I have to tell this one where to pick colors from. So I'm going to say hold Alt, the Alt key, and I get that crosshair. I'm going to click while I'm holding Alt, come back in, and it's painting those pixels onto this section, but it's kind of not doing a great job, so I'm going to try something else. So let's do the patch tool. So what the patch tool does is you can select your object and then you can move it to a different part of your selection. Hit that, and then I'll have to obviously come back in here again, and then this is a really shoddy job, so I'm going to go ahead and come back in here and maybe fix it, clean it up a little bit. Obviously, if I were really doing this, I would, do a much better job. So just be cautious of how you are cleaning up your designs if you need to. Okay, copy parts from other pieces if you need to. All right, so it's pretty small, so you can't really tell a whole lot. So let me see what happens if I hold shift and stretch it out. Are you gonna be able to tell it's stretched out? Probably, because it has these characters on there, and it looks a little wonky, but I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it for time's sake. Okay, so what else I could do is come back onto the front panel and make some adjustments. Maybe put this guy here, and then something else I could do is I could separate Pokemon from the character, or I could find the character by itself in the word Pokemon and then do that by itself. So I think that's actually what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it, come back, and show you my finished product. All right, so here is a semi-finished box. This is pretty good if you wanted to turn this in. I would like to see you guys push yourselves a little bit more. You have all week to complete this, so take your time, do really well. Maybe offer incentives for purchasing the cereal, such as free toy inside, or I did find some like collectibles that I could have included, collect so many or buy so many boxes, send in the UPC code and get a free cereal bowl or a free cereal bowl inside, something like that. So definitely be creative with your boxes and your design. What would you like to see on your cereal box if you were sitting at the table in the morning, reading your box, looking at it? Okay, so when you are all done, you're going to go ahead and save the Photoshop document. And because of disk error. Okay, great, fantastic. So you would save your cereal bowl to your Student U Drive in a cereal box folder. Save. Make sure it's named your first initial last name cereal box, and then you're going to export as a, let's export it as a JPEG export. And then you are going to, once you have exported the JPEG, you're going to go ahead and send it to the printer, either the 22DN or the 251 printer, and you're going to print it. You're going to grab a pair of scissors, you're going to cut it out, and then you're going to fold it up, and I'll have you guys turn it in. I'll have a box set up for you guys to turn it in. The only problem is I need to make sure that you put your name on your box somewhere. So if you could, before you print it out, put your name maybe on the bottom flap down here, so I know who it belongs to. Make sure I can read it. Please make sure it's not 4 points. Just don't let it distract from the main design. Okay, so put your name on it before you actually save your file. All right, and that's it. I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. Be creative with your names. It does not have to be an already created character. You can create a character on your own. You can create a name of this. I would prefer you created a name of a cereal. So if there's already a cereal out there that you're going to use, with a picture of cereal, change the name of it, call it something different. Okay.